Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Chess, and today we will discuss about comments. Okay, so um I am actually from the future again, and I think this one will be the last one until at least like 30 episodes later. So um I won't be revisiting I won't be having any more space in between each episodes. At least until 30 days from now, and that will be on 110th episode, I think, or 111. But yeah, the reason why is because um, you know, back then when I decided to make fails, I was very confident that I will actually have time in the future. Um, like feeling this, right? The first thing that I thought is that um like I want to make something that's a little bit more recent, right? Like the latest thing that we have, right, in real world. So I kind of want that as well, like for instance, if something just happened like last week, so we can talk about it, right? Like, but the thing is that it's not always first from the topic itself. Sometimes there's nothing really matter to be discussed. Like it's not really important. Like, well, I mean, it's important at some cases, but I don't really want to make a discussion or a comments about it, right? The reason one is I think the thing that is currently happening in China and Taiwan, I think. um but it's like it's different from the case with Russia and Ukraine, but like I just don't want to talk about it honestly. Like, it's not in my area to discuss, right? Like I have no background about knowing those countries, right? But yeah, uh, and there's also something else probably that I'm missing, but the past week I'm actually very like very not very busy, but more like um it's very unfortunate that I actually didn't have a lot of time to make videos, and therefore like I decided that like for the second reason, right? For the first reason is the discussion itself, like there's nothing really to discuss. And then the second one is from myself, like um excuse me, like I was confident again, like I was confident that in the future I will have time, right? But in reality I don't really have because I was working on other series as well, like still playing some games like for the gameplay or playthrough. And then there's also other series that I want to cover as well. Like one of them's already out, right, which is the SCB, and then the other one will be Marvel Talks, which will probably be released like either a few days ago, like at this time around, or maybe a few days later. Depending on if I already finished editing. By editing, I mean like checking if there's anything like to be edited out, like the intro or the outro, and then in the middle as well, and then the thumbnail and stuff like that, right? But yeah, that's about it, I guess. Therefore, with these reasons, I decided that I don't think I will actually do more blanks, like blank space like these often, because it's like actually like only separated by a week, right? Like the last one is in episode 73. Technically 7 days ago, right? Like I decided that it's either none or at the most once a month, basically. Like the next one will be about 30 days from now. I mean, which will be in August, no, which will be in September, and yeah, that's about it, I guess. Okay, so now let's actually talk about the comments, right? The discussion that we want to talk. which is about comments. Why I want to talk about this? Well, you know, uh, like if you see comments, there are two types, right? Like the one that is good comments and then bad comments, right? Good comments is generally the one, when you see people saying like, um, oh, your video is very great, keep up the good work, I like your video and stuff like that, right? Like, good comments in my definition is comments that only filled with, um what is it like, what is it again, like, like basically you're appreciating the video, right, from the content creator, whoever it is. Yeah, basically like that. And then there's also bad comments, right? Bad comments like, like criticizing the quality of your videos. And then there's also like, saying horrible stuff, right? That I includes in bad comments. But the thing is, in my opinion, all those two types are actually all, like at some portion, those are fine, but in big portion, those are all equally bad. Why? Because if you see too much people saying that, saying good stuff, then you will not be able to improve, right? You will, you cannot really see the way you develop your contents, right? Because everyone just saying that it's good, right? It's good enough, keep up the good work and stuff like that. But in reality, when you hear something like that, you will be flattered, right? Like, who isn't, right? But the thing is that here in, at least in my culture anyway, hearing this, appreciation can actually become really bad, because you will be flattered, right? And then once you're flattered, and you'll be out of focus, right? Therefore you'll not be able to do more of this, right? And then the bad comment itself, I mean, uh it's basically referring to itself, right? Like, um hearing all those negative comments, then you will be overthinking about it, right? Which isn't necessary. Like, every now and then, like, take one, take two with a pinch of salt, just read it, like, take it if there's anything that's actually useful from the criticize, as improvement for the future. It's actually better than having all those appreciation, honestly. Like, when hearing people saying good stuff but not really helping you to improve, right? Whilst in this category, if like, filter it out, take the good stuff of it, you can actually make good improvement out of it. But then again, if it's like in huge amount, right, it's also bad, because then if you actually read all of it, then you will be overwhelmed, right? Like, you will lose your confidence. You will, always feel bad about, like, you will worry about how you perform, right? But yeah, that's just it. So, like, what about the good comments? What will be the good ones? Well, in my opinion, I think the good comments are comments from people that's actually discussing about what's in the video. Like, actually discuss, right? Like, oh yeah, you're right. I think like, for instance, if we're talking about a movie, all right, I think the character was supposed to be like this, and the reason why the character is the way that they are, well, I think because like this, right? And then you start a discussion, basically. And then some other people will also reply, right? And then reply another discussion as well, like, yeah, I also actually agree with you and stuff like that. I disagree, because I think the reason why the character is like that is because, like, the background is something like this, something like that, right? So you actually start a discussion, and I think that's actually a good type of comments, because then it's basically engaged. You know, your audience are actually engaged, right? Like they want to also want to be involved in the video, right? Because you basically deliver the, you know, the topics clearly, right? Like it's attracting people to actually discuss about it, right? And I think this kind of people is, you know, the type of the good one, because they don't really see the good thing about you, or you know, the video, or bad thing about the video. You know, they actually judge what's inside the book, you know, other than, you know, like um saying about the cover, you know, like how you do it, how you know, the quality is, you know, like something like that. That's just the cover, right? But people like this who actually discuss about the content, that's actually the type of the good stuff. It means that they actually pass the term, you know, like don't judge the book from its cover, right? And yeah, and that's what these people do. They don't actually judge the cover, they actually judge the content of the book, which is, you know, the discussion that you have, right? And you know, it's actually not always, you know, it's actually everything, right? Every type of video, like if you do a playthrough, you know, like then you can discuss about oh, there's actually a secret area, there's actually a loot that you missed, and something like that, right? Which is great. It's better than, you know, hearing, oh yeah, your video is very great, keep up the good work, you know, like, oh, I love you, I've been here since day one, and something like that, right? Which is great at some portion, but if you only consume that, then it will be bad, right? Because you have no way, you know, feedback of improvement, right? And then same thing like the bad thing, the bad comments as well, you know, like, oh, like saying your audio sucks and stuff like that, right? Which is, yeah, I mean, you can always get those critics and use it to improve in the future, right? But here in this case, I think anyway, like, what is it, like, if you take it like all of them, yeah, you basically, you know, like eating lots of salt, right? And you know, just like any other human that eats a lot of salt, it's bad, right? It can be very harmful for you. But yeah, that's about it, I think, about this discussion about the comments. um yeah, I think like the comments that I like, at least, and I think there's all actually already so many people actually do this in most videos. They actually talk about, you know, the discussion or the thing that's inside the video itself, like the content. Like if it's a game, like again I said, you know, they like have opinions about the characters, you know, like the boss, how to beat it easily and stuff like that. And if it's about movie, then you know it, you know, basically like people making a theory, right? And that's actually a great type of comments, which means that these people actually judge the book or the content by the content, not by its cover. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you again tomorrow with another discussion. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see ya.